We're here with 4 or more travel tips for you.
There might be more than 4, but I do have 4 travel tips posted in a blog on my website that I have written. So if you like to read, you can go there instead.
And if you don't, we're here to help.
We're here to help. We're here to chat about it.
Cancel reading. Stick around.
If you can't tell, it's going to be a fun time.
So let's do a countdown, or a count up, starting with
Number
tip number
4.
Number 4.
Number 4 is consider safety. So there is a big difference between being adventurous and doing something unique and uncommon and like just not doing enough research into what it is you're doing.
It's very important to know what you're getting into because a lot of the times you're far away from home, you're not familiar with the language, you're not familiar with the scenarios or like the emergencies that could happen. You don't know how to get yourself out of them. So it's always good to be prepared and consider how the safest route through a situation would be.
It is, especially if you can't find a lot of reviews on something you want to do, or if you're trying to be like the first person to do something. Just consider if it's truly a good idea, because you can have an adventure and still be safe and not worry about what's happening. I don't know, I think sometimes people like consider being adventurers, I don't know, they consider some bad ideas. So.
Well, it's often associated with danger.
It doesn't have to be. And like if you want to travel long term and you want to do something that's sustainable, or if you're planning like your first kind of uncommon trip, like you don't have to do crazy things to have fun.
Yeah, there's being fun and then there's being reckless, and you don't have to do that necessarily. You can still have a lot of fun, we promise. Tip number 3.
You did 3 weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is about thinking outside of the box when you're planning activities.
Absolutely. You should definitely do so.
So what I mean by that is when you go and you start planning a trip, it's the easiest thing to do is to go to Google and say, what are the top things to do in this location? And there's nothing wrong with that. Just be aware that what comes up are going to be the top things to do in that location. So if you're looking to avoid crowds and do something a little bit more unique, chances are you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper to find those types of experiences.
Absolutely. So vlogs, those types of things is going to be the best way, I think, to kind of sift through and find out what it's like to be in a place, because typically those people are showing you their life. So it's not an ad typically for wherever you're going. We love to follow Kara and Nate on YouTube. They've just recently reached their 100th country in 4 years. They've been all over the world, especially their early videos when they were traveling on a budget. They had to kind of just exist wherever they were. It wasn't a vacation wherever they went. So it was just about kind of making it work because they were traveling full time wherever they went. So you learn a lot about watching those videos. You understand a lot about what it's just like to be in one of those countries, and then do some of the cheaper or free or what have you things that you might skip over if you were just going on a once-in-a-lifetime trip to a location.
Exactly. And I think Eric mentioned it earlier, but looking at videos is so much more important than looking at photos, because photos can hide so much. What you see on Instagram and even on like Nat Geo photos is totally different than what that place could actually be. So if you're looking to go somewhere unique or somewhere different, getting a video is just going to give you just a better overall experience of the atmosphere and what that place is actually like. Photos can hide crowds, lines of people. I know a lot of this is towards Greece because we have a trip coming up to Greece, but there's these spots in Mykonos and Santorini that literally are just selfie lines.
And to that point, just Google Egyptian pyramids Pizza Hut, and just Google
Just leave it at that.
Good.
Egyptian pyramids Pizza Hut.
You'll see. Tip 2.
Oh, I'm saying it.
Tip. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Tip number 2.
I forgot the tip.
Oh my God, there's no tip. We lost the second tip. Where did you put it? Tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is about when you start planning your attractions, not being afraid to say no to what people think you should be doing.
The top online might not always be the best time.
Especially if you're looking for something unique or uncommon, which you are if you're watching this video, then chances are a lot of the touristy things and the places where all the crowds want to go is not where you're going to want to go. So there's been a lot of times where I think we've gone places and someone has said, oh, well, obviously you did X, Y, and Z. And like 9 times out of 10, we haven't done it.
I'd say perfect example, again, from St. Lucia, we went on our honeymoon. Everybody wants you to stay at like Sandals. It's an all-inclusive resort. Everybody does it. Oh, it's the coolest thing. That's what everybody does with a romantic time away. We did absolutely not do that.
We did not do that.
You don't get a good flavor for the actual island itself. What we did is we hired a guy. Just kind of, he wrote us a check on a piece of like notebook paper, a receipt that said, hey, I'll pick you up. We hired him to just take us out on his boat and then take us to the actually the national holiday to go into the city, the towns itself, and celebrate with the local people.
Which is just places that you would never go if you were staying at Sandals or any other resort, honestly. It's not just like, oh, we didn't do Sandals. Like, we specifically didn't choose an all-inclusive vacation when that's really what people do when they go there. So there was a little bit of like, oh, you're missing out on doing something, but at the end of the day, like, don't be afraid of missing out on a top experience or on something that people say you should do. Just fill that time with stuff you actually want to do because you're gonna have a better time.
It was so much more exciting and so much more authentic than it could have been just going to a resort that is on 50 different islands in the Caribbean, and you get the same experience wherever you go. So we had a very uniquely St. Lucian experience with the people, and it was amazing, truly.
Yeah. Something else I want to say on this too is that it's like when it comes to activities and people are like, oh, you have to go see something. Like when we go to Greece, like we're gonna fly 12 hours across the world and you want to see everything that people tell you to see. But when we started looking up like these must-do things, we realized that some of them just aren't for us. So I've already gotten like eye rolls from people and I'm like, oh, I'm not actually gonna do that. And they're like, you're crazy, you're going halfway around the world just to do that. But it's okay. Like, there's no reason to feel guilt over that. And I think I had to talk myself into that a little bit to remind myself that you don't have to do it.
Do what you want to do every day, all the time, and you'll have the best time.
Life motto.
Number 1.
Tip number 1 is to know your geographical location. Get an idea. You probably already know where you're going, but you have to figure out what that place is like.
It's important to look at maps, to look at pictures, and to look mostly at moving pictures if you can. Videos, vlogs, those types of things, to get a really good idea of the layout of where you're going. You're going to want to know the temperature. You're going to know how high up in the air it is.
Yeah, geography and
landscape. Is it wet there?
Is really important because not only are you going to have to be planning activities and planning for your clothes to wear, but you also need to know just like how to get around. So when we started planning Greece, this is embarrassing, I had no idea that they were islands.
Oh, yeah, actually, I had heard that there were islands.
I didn't know.
But I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
You know?
And like everyone goes to Greece, so we were like, oh, it's gonna be so easy.
It's like, oh, like a little, like, I'm
obviously
like, maybe
it's like
they
an
just
easy,
boat you
like
out.
little hop over, but it's not. In fact, the island we want to go to is a 10-hour ferry ride from where the airport is.
I do not want to be on a ferry for 10 hours.
No. So
under any circumstances.
When you're planning something, especially when it's unique or uncommon, you want to make sure you have an understanding what that landscape is. Is it flat? Is it mountainous? We went to St. Lucia and we were like, oh, it's such a small island. It's going to be so easy to get around. But you literally can't go anywhere in a car because the mountains just like take up the roads. And driving is so hard.
It's just a volcano.
I don't think it's a volcano.
Yes, it is. A little bit. Yeah, that's where we went. Was that one part? Yeah.
Oh, there is a volcano.
Yeah. That's why it's so rocky. So yeah, St. Lucia's a volcano for everybody who may have been there or not. It is a volcano, and it is super rocky, so it takes you a really long time to get around an island that is this big. And if we had known that, we would have been able to plan a little bit better. So
yeah, know your location.
And bonus tip for watching the video. It won't make it to the vlog. It is making it to the vlog.
Yeah.
That's here. Okay, cool. But for listening to me, I have a little something to add that's direct from my brain. And that is this whole planning thing. Try not to do it so much. Be a little bit spontaneous. The best way, one of the best ways that you can do some of the more unique things is by going to the country and then being open and listening to the locals and finding out a lot of the stuff that might not even be online, but is very popular to do there. So you might partake in some sort of local tradition. For instance, I'm going to go back to St. Lucia one more time, but it was their national holiday. We did not know that it was going to be their national holiday when we arrived. It was just a stroke of luck. And instead of kind of sticking to the itinerary that we had, we said, you know what? Let's go check it out. Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest party of the locals in the city. Yeah. It's a safe city. We were going with a guide, and we were like, all right, we're doing it. And we knew nothing, not a lot about it or what it was about, but we went, and it was truly one of the highlights of of my entire life. It was so amazing, and we had such a good time. It was. And we met incredible people and just made memories of a lifetime. So, just go there, especially when you're going to someplace unique, someplace smaller, and just kind of keep your ear to the ground, speak to people, meet new people, and see kind of what was going on there so that you can take a little piece of the place back with you and kind of share in whatever it is that they have going on.
That's a good tip.
Thanks. All right, thank you everybody.
Thanks for hanging through the video.
Them's the tips.
That's all we have for you.
It's been great, and go out there and get to traveling and keep these things in mind, and let us know if you do end up going somewhere crazy and cool, what you think, and if we helped you guys at all, we'd love to hear from you. Yeah,
leave a comment on wherever this is posted on if you
Find
have
us.
any tips.
Write a letter, damn it.
Maybe don't write a letter, we might not be here.
Okay, you're right.
Sorry.
Don't write the letter. Write the letter.
Tips, though.
Photo message.
There we go. Perfect.
It's 2020.
It's 2020. We got this.
And then you'll have a souvenir. A written letter for yourself to keep.
Tip number 6, reflection.
A reflection on tips.
So leave a comment below and what you think is your best tip for having an uncommon or unique travel experience, and tell us about any stories that you have. We should tell our crazy stories sometime.
For sure. Next time.
Until then.
Bye.